Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Azizdrives. Today we have something that is very out of the ordinary, and it's the BMW XM. And we gotta wonder, what the fuck is it actually good for? But before we start the review, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, check out the other videos. Let's begin. When I first saw the BMW XM, I wondered, what did BMW think with this design? I mean, it looks completely different than any other BMW they have ever produced. And it's very interesting because it doesn't fit any model line. Just like the M1 didn't fit a model line, but the M1 was actually good for something. It was the fastest production car of a German company. So this isn't the best at anything. It's just ridiculously big. It's just ridiculously designed. It's crazy to think of. But when we stop thinking about practicality, because it isn't particularly practical, it isn't particularly beautiful, and we kind of say, okay, let's consider it art, it starts to kind of match up. And something that I also think is very interesting, it reminds me a little bit of the X6 when it first came out. When BMW presented the X6, it didn't have any use case, but still there was a market for the car. People wanted to buy it because it had this coupe look, and they started kind of a new trend. Every other car manufacturer did a SUV coupe. So this one isn't even called the SUV. It's like they invented something new just to have a reason for it. It's called an SAV, which stands for Sports Activity Vehicle, which this car surely isn't. I mean, it has 2.8 tons. It isn't sporty. So I don't even know what to say anymore. But let's still continue with the look. It has a new headlight design. I've never seen that before. It reminds me a little bit of the 7 Series, but this one is the daylight, and it's kind of in a very, very parallel universe, the angel eyes of this car. Then we have the grille. To be honest, I think the grille looks cool. I really do. I think it looks nice, especially with the iconic glow around this grille here, also on the other side, but it's just massive, okay? Then we have the golden trim with the black car. It's really, really interesting to look at. We have those two power domes that remind me of the M3, and we have kind of this steep, this decline here from the upper part of the bonnet to the lower part of the car, which reminds me of the X7. And then we have the openings here, which remind me of the M3, because this opening here is here to cool the brakes. So it's really interesting to look at. It's something that I've never seen before, and it's kind of difficult to find the reason for it, to be honest. Let's have a look at the design from the side, because here, those are obviously the winter tires. So it would have 23-inch wheels that also look ridiculous, which also makes it impossible to drive off-road. But I guess it's an SAV, right? A sports activity vehicle. So what do we have here? As you can see, there's a charging port. The car is a plug-in hybrid. We're talking about the engine a little later. And we have the XM on the side. XM, the biggest thing that they have right now. It's ridiculous. Golden trim all across the car, going from the front to the back, then surrounding the windows here and connecting to the back. Massive doors, massive shapes. Everywhere you look at it, it is kind of a 3D effect, even on the door handle. Here also a 3D effect on the lower skirt here. It's very interesting to look at. It's really an interesting car to look at. I don't want to say it's ugly. I don't want to say it's beautiful. It is interesting. It is like art. I've never seen that before. I really didn't. And then you come to the back to find out that this doesn't look like a BMW at all. I mean, nothing resembles BMW. We have the two logos here on the top of that rear window, and that's it. I mean, the taillight doesn't match up with any other BMW up until now. And then we have the exhaust pipes that also don't match up with any other BMW. I mean, they're vertical here. Very interesting. And to be honest, I think that's a good thing. And I'll explain why, because no other car manufacturer dares. I mean, Range Rovers looks the same. Audis look the same. Mercedes look the same. All of those cars look the same, even in the latest generation. This is something completely new. It really is crazy to look at. Let me pop the hood and show you what the engine is all about. And we got to talk about a lot of stuff, man. We really have. So this engine is new. It's a 4.4 liter V8 twin scroll turbocharged, two twin scroll turbochargers. Revs up pretty high. It has 489 horsepower and 650 newton meters of torque by itself. Then we have an electric engine with 197 horsepower, which gives a total power output with a little bit of loss when combining those two of 653 horsepower and maximum of 800 newton meters of torque. Very interesting. Car goes from 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds, which is really not that fast. I mean, the competitors are much faster. Even the X5 competition is faster. So that is kind of strange. Tops out at 250 kph, which the other ones are also faster. So it really leaves the question, what is it good for? Then we have to talk about the range or the fuel. So you have the petrol engine and you have the electric engine. The electric engine can drive by itself 72 to 81 kilometers just by itself. That is pretty good. And then you have the range of the whole car, which would be with the 69 liters tank of around 600 kilometers. That is pretty solid. So they say the car should use WLTP 1.6 liters to 100 kilometers. So when you drive electrically to 100 kilometers, it would use 1.6 liters, because at 70 kilometers or 80, depending on how you drive, the electric engine would shut off and the petrol engine would continue the drive. But then the overall fuel consumption is around 5.6 liters, as they say. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. To be honest, I couldn't. I mean, I'm driving here at around 12 to 13 liters, right? So I think they exaggerated a little bit. And something that is really bullshit is the charging time of this port. Because the port only allows AC/DC, but 7.5 kilowatts, it will take 4.5 hours to charge the electric batteries. So yeah, I'm not sure. I still can't find the reason for the car being the best in what it is. I mean, it's really, really difficult. I think we should look at the practical side now. Let's have a look at the cargo space and maybe we find something practical, all right? So we have 527 liters of volume that we could stuff in here, which is really not bad. And when you put the seats down, it has 1,820 liters of volume. The only thing is, you know, you mark this car as a ultra luxury SAV, you know, something completely new and better than the competitors, but then I don't have even buttons to close them down. I mean, the X7 has it, the X5 has it, this doesn't. So I really, really struggle to find something positive about it, man. It has some nice things, but I mean, what is it actually good for? I mean, we're paying 200,000 Swiss francs here. What is it actually good for? I think we should go to the interior and check that out. Welcome to the interior of the BMW XM. While the outside is very shocking and aggressive and extra oriented, we have the inside that is actually quite nice to sit in and very matching. So let's begin with what we have here and what the XM has to offer. So it isn't as luxurious as, for example, a 7 Series or an X7, but it has a very pleasant seat and experience in here. So the materials are very, very nice. We have this kind of matte finished carbon fiber down here. Also here surrounding the dashboard, we have, of course, leather all around the car. Very beautiful. Then we have here, we have actually 16 integrated speakers here with the Harman Kardon system. If you take the Bowers-Wilkins system, it will be 20 of them. So that is very, very good. And I would pay the up price to get the Bowers-Wilkins because those are so beautiful. We had them in the 7 Series. Then next thing that I very much love is how easy the whole thing, the infotainment system is. It's very clean. It's not a lot of buttons, etc. Nothing to kind of disturb you from driving this thing, which it is all about actually. It's called a sports activity vehicle. So we have a beautiful steering wheel, typical M with the carbon fiber shifters left and right. We have the M1 and M2 button to configure your driving modes. You have a head-up display in the front. You have these two screens here, right side touchscreen. When you start the car up, a bunch of things happen. This interesting sound. And as you have seen here on the roof, we have the prism design. So this is covered in Alcantara fully, prisms outside the car, prisms inside the car, and it actually has 100 LEDs to kind of make the prism look more spectacular and more 3D. Then we have these beautiful seats, and let me tell you this, they are so comfortable. They're really beautiful seats. You have a good cushion on your shoulders, you have a very good side hold, you can adjust it of course. You have the seat itself that feels very nice, the leather is beautiful. The headrest feels also very comfortable, and what I really like is you have the buttons on the side of your seat. I apologize for wearing this jacket, but it's really cold here. So as I touch the buttons, right, it shows me on the screen, it shows me on this on the iDrive system where I am right now. So when you're driving, for example, I always kind of find it very difficult to find the right seat position because you're driving, you know, when are you adjusting it actually? So here you go with your fingers over the little buttons. It has a little touchscreen, a sensor, and it shows you where you actually are on the screen here. So I know if I go up here, I can adjust the lordoz here, for example, the side hold. If I go to the other part, I can adjust the front part of the seat. So it's very intuitive. I really like that a lot. Then of course you have a massaging function. This is where the luxury part holds true. You just press here, and then you can adjust the massaging functions, and it's very good. It actually massages even the lower part of the seat, so that is great. And I mean, that's really, really nice. The steering wheel is heated, of course. You can press just a button. The seats are cooled and heated also. What is also very cool is when you open this carbon fiber lid here, you have actually a cooling and a heating options for your drink. That is great. So put a can in here, press the cooling option, and it will cool your drink. Very nice. Then opening here, of course, with USB-C cable charger and so on. Beautiful leather. Front part, very, very nice. The glove box, of course, pretty big actually. And that's everything for the front. Let's go into the back. All right, the back is actually my absolute favorite of all of this XM. I have so much space in here. It is brilliant. So much knee space, so much headroom. It's absolutely beautiful to sit in. You have kind of this armrest here integrated into the door, looks very cool. You have a big storage compartment here for 2 drinks, for example, 2 bottles and just a little bit more if you need any other things. Then of course your cup holders here, very, very nice, covered in leather. And let me tell you something about those seats in the back. The new pattern that they use, the new cushions, they are so comfortable. Really, I could fall asleep instantly. It's so nice to be in here. Then of course the 3D effect of those prisms on the headliner, very nice. When you start the car up, it gives you the M emblems going all the way across both sides. So that is also cool. You have of course these speakers here, as I said, 16 speakers. Leather on the top here, leather covering the side of the door. This very nice pattern coming all the way from here, going up here, very nice. Then of course you can heat your seats in the back. You have USB chargers down there and the climate control. This is very cool. Also climate control into the B pillar, which is also nice. So that is very solid. I really like that. And what is also very cool is, for example, when you kind of want to lean back a little bit, you have even a cushion here. You can even drive like this. It's really a nice place to be in. They really thought something about it, and it's great. It's really very comfortable. I like it a lot. It's great, absolutely great. Cool fact about the back part here and also the USB-C chargers is you can actually charge your phone from here. And then you have a little lid here. Behind this lid, you have a USB-C charger for your new iPad, for example. And there's 100% holders here that you can integrate or press in, so you have the iPad in front of you and you can watch a movie or whatever for your children. Very nice, I like that. Of course here a little lid, also storage compartment. It's nice, and that's as far as we can take it with the interior. Maybe we have approached the BMW XM from a wrong perspective. Maybe we shouldn't have looked at it as a car in general. Maybe we should have looked at it as a piece of art. All of a sudden, it starts to make sense, right? And that's as far as we can take it. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment. See you on the next one. Goodbye.